16 minutes now after the hour, another outrageous failure by the VA. Employees at the Los Angeles regional office caught shredding paperwork related to veterans' disability claims. Joining me right now, CEO of Concerned Veterans for America, who never stopped showing concern when it comes to the VA, and Fox News contributor, Lieutenant Pete Hegseth. All right, tell me right now, Pete, how you found about what was going on in Los Angeles and what were they doing?
Yeah, it was a surprise inspection by the Office of Inspector General at the VA. So they popped in at this facility and took a look at what was going on. What they found were 9 letters, 8 of which were unopened, that were headed for the shredder. So these are letters of claims from veterans who were making an adjustment or providing additional information. What they found is that 8 of the 9 would have affected the nature of the claim. So you've got a claim, meaning the disability benefits that veterans have earned, and rather than open it and look at what's inside it and make sure a veteran gets what they deserve, these letters were put in a bin headed for the shredder intentionally. So there's gross, not just gross negligence, but criminality, I believe. And this is a snap surprise inspection. Imagine where things like this could have been happening across the country.
Because some of these incentives are so backwards, even if their intent is pure to get rid of the backlog. You're supposed to do it by addressing the case, not by shredding them. Why don't they understand that? That, to me, shows a lack of organization, a lack of leadership.
It's a toxic culture. It's a dysfunctional bureaucracy. The incentives are all in the wrong direction. You're right. They've been trying to bring the backlog down. We've been talking about that for years, Brian. And I think there's some information on the screen right now with an update. There's still 100,000 veterans pending in the backlog. And so they brought that down. They're not going to get it to 0, which is the goal by the end of this year. But in the process, Brian, the appeals backlog has skyrocketed to over 300,000. Vets wait 3 to 4 years in the appeals process. So rather than address the problem, Brian, and finalize these claims, they push them to the appeal process. So a veteran, it's off the list, it's off the backlog, backlog's going down, but it's never actually fixed. Veterans waiting even longer. That's why we say it's getting worse. It's not getting better because the bureaucracy is just shuffling paper, trying to make things look better while the vets wait longer and longer.
And what's being done about this? Because Bob McDonnell was supposed to straighten things out. He's got this great management background, but he doesn't seem to get a hold of it.
Yeah, he's got a great management background. We supported him at first, but he's been captured by the bureaucracy. He's criticizing groups like ours that are trying to fix this system and reform it because at this point he's playing a lot of defense. He had an opportunity to get in there, rip the scab off, and say, let's fix this problem. He has not, and as a result, the culture hasn't changed. Care isn't happening as fast as it should. Accountability hasn't been delivered, and things just haven't changed.
You know, it was a few years ago when the Inspector General recommended a host of new controls to stop this. Bob McDonnell was supposed to team with the Inspector General. What can you tell me about that relationship?
Oh, it's not what it should be. In fact, there's a lot of things the Inspector General has been finding that they want to expose and provide that they haven't been able to. So there still is a tenuous relationship between groups that hold the VA accountable, like the Office of Inspector General, like whistleblowers. There's still a bad culture for whistleblowers. So all the things that have been brought to light at the VA have been brought to light by folks poking around trying to find it, and whistleblowers courageously standing up and willing to tell the truth. And this is the unfortunate way that we find out about dysfunction, as opposed to a leader at the top saying we're not going to take it anymore and we're going to do the tough things necessary to change the culture. And that just hasn't happened under Bob McDonnell, unfortunately.
Keep speaking out. And Pete, I know all the candidates are going to you. The last one was Jeb Bush. So as long as you hammer this home with specifics, I think we can get somewhere. Pete Hegseth, thanks so much.
Yeah, Brian. Absolutely, Brian. You got it.